OTA, I'll give you my OTA report here, man. So, like I said, I was there Wednesday, and it was raining. It was cold. Felt like February. But the practice was in the Walter Payton Center, which is their indoor facility. The Bears have three fields at Hallis Hall, so this is like field number three. I was like, usually if Bill's doing a regular season, it wasn't raining hard. This is doing the regular season. They had to practice outside, but it's OTAs. You don't want anybody to even get remotely hurt. By tripping on something or getting whatever, pulling something because the weather, slippery grass, whatever. So that was good. But I didn't see any of the rookies. Luther, well, not any of the rookies, but the two prize rookies. I didn't see Luther Burden there. Ben Johnson said Luther Burden, he has a soft tissue injury from rookie minicamp, and he said he does not know when he will be back. I would be concerned if this was July. Since it's not July, I am not really thinking about it. He's young. I think he will be good on that one. I didn't see Colston Loveland. Nobody asked him about it, so I'm guessing there was excused absence. But I personally didn't see him. But what I liked the most from seeing was just the coaching. And, I'm not going to make too much of this. I'm not going to make too much of performance because we still got 2 months before training camp starts. But it looked like an actual program. It looked like an actual game plan, which is something that is basic, something that should happen for every team. But compared to the last 3 years of Eberflus, it just looked totally different to me. Like, Bang, I was watching and they were doing this thing. They had this exercise where, like, they were doing 11 on 11s. And while the defense was right here, Al Harris is in the middle of the field, like behind the secondary. Al Harris is in the middle of the field behind the secondary on the Bears C, and he's like watching how everything is going on with the secondary and how it's looking from his point of view. You see Eric Bieniemy working real hard with the running backs, cussing them out when they're doing things wrong, making sure they're on the right track. And just the whole time, Ben Johnson just watching everything going on at the same time. Antoine Randall was very, very active on this. And, right now it's like they're setting up a culture. They're setting up a program out there and making sure everybody's on their P's and Q's already in the season, even though it's just OTAs. And we even had a moment where, Cole Kmet did something wrong and he yelled at Cole Kmet. Ben Johnson, like, nah, enough of that. Like, this is the way you got to do this. And, obviously not on some Ditka stuff, but he was also like, oh, let's get this in order here, man. And that was something that we pointed out to him in the press conference. And I think it was Adam Hogue asked, like, we saw you getting a little fiery. He said, oh, y'all saw that? He said, man, the team said I got to get better with my body language. So I'm going to work on that body language, man. But you could just really see what he's trying to work through right now. And also, this is a long practice. This is a 2-hour OTA practice. Let me put into perspective what this means. During the Eberflus era, not only were practices not 2 hours, training camp practices we might have had 2 training camp practices that were 2 hours all last year. So he's doing that already in OTAs, which let me know, okay, this is a little different. So it feels like for the first time since, even I'm gonna give Nagy. First time since Nagy, where I feel like there's adults in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can sit up here and blame Nagy for a lot. Y'all already know I'm not a Nagy fan on the field as a person. Nagy's cool. But this feels like you have adults in the room, people who know what they're trying to do. And also one thing that stood out to me too, Ben said that Caleb has been in the building every day for the past 6 weeks, which is key. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the playbook. He's been working out and really locking in with that entire offensive staff. And I also saw Dennis Allen. Like, the coaches were very visible, which is something I didn't see a lot in the Eberflus era. Where sometimes I didn't see him as much and as active and as loud as they were in just a simple OTA practice. I know Ross Tucker was on, I think it was David Hall, Mully and Hall show. Shout out to David Hall, who was he was on there this morning. He said that he's concerned about Caleb, and they put it out in a clickbaity way. But if you actually watch the video, I kind of understand where he's coming from, saying that you can feel how you want to feel, but why are you going telling the author who's writing a book about this? Why are doing these certain things? And he feels like he should have spoke to the media. I felt like Caleb should have spoke to the media too, to just get out in front of it. I wasn't expecting him to speak to the media. When I walked in the Hallis Hall and I didn't see his name on the board, I wasn't really shocked. But I felt like it would have been good of him to get it out there. But at the same time, I did love Ben Johnson bringing it up before he was even asked. And that's something, nothing. We did not see Eberflus. About $1 for every time Eberflus threw Caleb or Justin under the run him over with a truck. I'd be a millionaire. Happened all the time. So for the first time back, it just felt like there was actual grown-ups going on with the Bears.
Look, man, I remember even before we signed Ben Johnson, I had said he looked like a madman. He looks like Lil Gruden. So seeing everybody, including you, who now see him at OTAs, like, yo, he's kind of like a madman. It basically confirms everything that I thought. That we got somebody that's going to be really intense on the sidelines and hold players accountable. But I do love the fact that he got out in front of it. I wasn't there last year. So like all of that happened, I wasn't here. I'm here to take care of now, and I'm looking for the challenge. Like the one thing that I hate about this Bears discourse is acting like anybody that comes to this organization is just going to be terrible as soon as they get here because of the curse of the Bears or whatever curse of the Bears. We haven't, since Dave Wanstead got the highly coveted head coaching prospect. We got that there. The last time we got that before that was Mike Dicker, who angled, who pitched, who wanted to come back to the Bears to get this job. The Bears have never been in a situation where they picked the quarterback number one in the draft. We got that. We could talk all about this quarterbacks go to dot thing. I think that's overrated. I honestly think that's overrated. Cade McNown came here to die for him. No, he did not come into like the last two quarterbacks, and really the last one is the reason why we got that. And even with the Caleb Williams and the shit with this book, correct me if I'm wrong, but Caleb Williams' daddy was the one who was talking to Chef Wickersham and not necessarily Caleb. He was getting all of this from Caleb's dad. And everybody is talking like Caleb is the one who was talking to this man in this book. Ross Tucker was talking to 670 to score, and he's talking like Caleb is talking to this guy. No, it's his dad. But if Ben Johnson says what he's been getting from Caleb is what he wants and he's excited about that, I'm all happy. At the same time, I ain't draft this dude either. So, hey, we can make this short and sweet if we want to. But I don't think that Ben Johnson is not here if Caleb is not here. So they're tied together. I think it's going to work. I think it's a lot of that stuff is going on. I'm glad that Ben got in front of it. That's what leaders do. He did not do what Eberflus did. And Michael Wilbon even said something earlier today on First Take that people don't think about. The Bears lost 5 games last year in either the last minute or the last second. So this team is not as bad as people pointed out to be. They were bad at coaching. They was bad at coaching, therefore they was bad at executing. So with that being said, this man knows what he's getting himself into. And not only do he know what he's getting himself into, he came in with a plan. He is starting to put it out there. And this right here was the stuff outside of the plan that we've been hoping to see from a head coach too. And quite honestly, we have not seen since Lovie Smith. I'm excited.
Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HMB Media and the Barbers Chair Network.